All right, welcome to your Sun Salutation B tutorial. If you did not watch the Sun Salutation A tutorial, I'll put a link to it in this video as well as in the description. All you need is yourself and your mat, so let's get started. Just like in Sun Salutation A, we start in mountain pose. As a reminder, you can either have toes together, heels a little bit apart, take one fist between the toes for our hip width position, see if that feels nice, or two fists between the arches, and checking to see how that feels. Take whichever foot position serves your body best. For me, that's toes together, so that's what I'm going to go for. From here, just like in our Sun Salutation A, we start by inhaling the arms above our head, checking in with our shoulders. They're not up by our ears, they're falling down the back, and our neutral spine, neutral pelvis position. And this time we're going to exhale into chair pose, so sitting back like we're sitting in a chair. We have a lot of options here. Not a lot, but a couple. Traditionally, you keep your arms up parallel with your ears and you sit back. If your shoulders come up, you might want to try bringing your arms to shoulder height and give them a chance to just sort of relax down your back. Place a hand right on your lumbar spine, low back, to see how your pelvis is doing. It's really easy to have an anterior pelvic tilt in this position, but we want to, again, just stay with our neutral spine. And then exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift, finding our neutral spine. Again, fingertips to mat or palms to shins or thighs, whichever is most comfortable for you. And then exhale, bypassing the lunge that we had in Sun Salutation A to go straight to plank. So from plank, we want to make sure we're doing a nice healthy plank, pressing through the palms of our hands so that there's almost like a little bulge coming up right between the shoulder blades. Pressing back through the heels. And from here, you can again either do knees, chin, chest to the mat to cobra, or you can do chaturanga, hugging the elbows toward the body, gazing forward, and inhaling into upward facing dog. And then exhale, send the hips up and back, take a couple steps forward if you need to, into downward facing dog. Letting the shoulders relax down, bending the knees if you need to. And then from here, there are a couple of ways to get into Warrior One. You can either inhale, right knee to chest, shift your weight forward like you're going back to a plank, and then place the right foot down between the hands. Or, back and down dog. You can inhale the right heel up toward the sky. If you choose this option, make sure that your hips stay nice and square with one another. You're not opening up to get a little bit more height for the foot, but just getting as much as is comfortable with your hips in line. And then bringing the knee to the chest, coming forward. So from here, I like to take a little bit of a step up as I pivot my back heel down to the mat, pressing into the pinky toe side of my foot. And inhale, arms up into Warrior One. From here, we'll start at the feet. So the front foot, I usually like to have my toes nice and spread. I keep ankle in line with the knee. If it's too far forward, that puts too much strain on our knee and our ankle. If it's too far back, that's not going to do as much damage. And sometimes it actually makes the pose a little more accessible for some people. But in general, stacking the knee over the ankle is a great idea. And in the back foot, again, pressing weight into the pinky toe side of the foot. It's really easy to collapse in on that arch and let that side of the foot come up. So just be aware of it. And then in the hips. So our hips in Warrior One are traditionally facing forward-ish. They're actually at a slight angle just based on how our body is positioned. If we made them exactly square, we would have to pick up that back heel, unless you've got some serious ankle flexibility. And then from the hips, checking in with neutral pelvis. Again, another place where it's really easy to tilt the pelvis forward and have a sway back going on. So we want to find neutral. And arms overhead, checking in that the shoulders aren't scrunching up by the ears. If they are, and they are often, let your arms come down to shoulder height, just like in chair. And then exhale, fold forward. Hands bring the foot. Step back into plank. And now we're going to take a vinyasa. So the vinyasa is just what we call going from plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. So whatever you chose to do on the right side, we're going to do on the left. Either inhaling the heel up, or inhaling the knee to the chest. Coming forward, placing the foot between the hands, pivoting that back foot, putting weight into the pinky toe side of the foot. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Check in, knee over ankle, hips more or less facing forward. Check in with the back foot. Now that we're here in the pose, you might need to take a step forward. Arms up overhead or at shoulder height. Exhale, fold forward. Back to our vinyasa again. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's stay here for 3 breaths. You might want to roll your head around a little bit. Sometimes it gets a bit tight as we go through these motions. And on the next inhale, you can walk little steps. You can take one big step, or you can hop. Up, hands framing the feet again. Inhale, halfway lift, neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're coming back to chair, so a generous bend in the knee. Arms up overhead or at shoulder height, whatever works best for you. Checking in with our neutral pelvic position, neutral spine, shoulders falling down the back. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms together, shoulders down, neutral spine. And exhale, palms to heart center. If you did that along with me, as slow as I did, you might need to take a couple of deep breaths. Calm the heart rate. Check in with your foot position while you're here. Was it the foot position you started with? Are they parallel with one another? Sometimes it can change as we go through the practice, and that's why we have tutorials like this, so that we can pay extra close attention to all these little details. I hope that you found this video to be helpful. I use sun salutations a lot as openers to my class because they bring a lot of warmth into the body and they bring a lot of activity into the body as well. I always feel very buzzy after I do sun salutations. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an excellent day. Namaste.